About Us vertical line United Nations Radio on Home on Multimedia Radio Photo News Center Webcast English Francais Espanol Portuguese Kiswahili Today's News Today's Features Programs on and Africa on Calling Asia Women from the Field From the Ambassador Caribbean News Asian Voices Bangladesh Indonesian Hindi Urdu Regions Africa Americas Asia Europe Middle East About Us FAQs Information for broadcasters Contact information History Other resources online at the Audio Library About Us Meet the On Radio English Unit Team Gary Adams Producer Gary The U.S. National studied television radio communications at New York City College. She began her professional career as a writer with a number of corporations, including Thomas J. Lipton and the International Project of the Association for Voluntary Sterilization. Following a stint with the U.S. State Department, Gary pursued a master's degree in international administration, which required her to work as television producer in Manaus, the capital of Brazil's Amazon region. She has worked for the United Nations since 1982. She now lives in Brooklyn, New York with her husband. Sandra Guy, production assistant, Sandra hails from Uberaba in Brazil. Her first job at the United Nations was with the Guided Tours Unit. During her stint as the UN's guide, she enjoyed daily contact with the visiting public at United Nations headquarters. For the past 20 years Sandra has been working at United Nations Radio, where she enjoys putting together the daily program with her colleagues. She also enjoys receiving and processing feedback from radio partners and listeners from around the world. Derek Mpiata, producer, Derek is from South Africa and from 1977 to 1979 worked for Radio Freedom of the African National Congress ANC in Angola. He moved to Zambia where he continued to work for Radio Freedom. In September 1979 he joined On Radio in New York. In his spare time, he plays South African music and jazz. Beg Podley Henriquez, production assistant, Florence, aka Beg, originally comes from the Philippines. She joined the UN in 1979 and is passionate about her work. Beg especially likes mixing music and recorded interviews/speeches. She is enthusiastic about radio and has never stopped learning. Jocelyn Sambra, producer, in 1996. Jocelyn began her career as a radio producer in the thick of a civil war in her native Burundi. After covering the war and the peace talks in 2000, she took up her first job with IRIN in Nairobi, Kenya, writing about humanitarian and refugee issues in the Great Lakes region. 7 years later, she joined the UN Peacekeeping Missions Radio in Sudan in charge of a unit producing programs on the peace process. She is currently in New York City with UN Radio and is studying part-time for a master's degree in digital media at Columbia University. UN Radio Daily News Program. Updated at 1800 GMT, Monday to Friday. Loading the player. Connect. Most read. Most downloaded. Germany wants the UN to reform to reflect the world as it is. Migration, an expression of the human aspiration for a better future. Ban. Rwanda cements top position in global ranking of women in parliament. Boat tragedy kills 82 African migrants off the Italian coast. Protection of migrants the top priority for governments. Disarmament on trial. UN Daily News October 3, 2013. Envoy assures Afghan women of UN support during 2014 elections. Chemical weapons watchdog and UN report initial progress. WFP scaling up operations to meet dramatic increase in Syrian refugees. Top UN officials stress need for unity in efforts for political solution in Syria. Leading agencies appeal for political leaders to help end carnage in Syria. Syrian authorities and UN officials conclude productive talks on mission into alleged chemical weapons use. Ban appeals for new urgency to reach the political solution in Syria. UN team shocked by what it sees into Syrian cities. Syrian agricultural production drops massively as conflict continues. Emergency polio and measles vaccination underway in Syria. 4 million people in need of humanitarian assistance in Syria. UN. There is no civil war in terror, but a war against terror. Syrian Foreign Minister Al-Mualim. On chemical weapons experts complete second day of work in Syria. Syrian leader warned against use of chemical